and welcome. You have tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. In a short while from now, we will connect with our experts and start taking all your queries live onto the show. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So, because after making a start, Cheryl, above that 20,000 mark, we are seen to be drifting lower, but nevertheless, Nifty is gearing up to gain that 20,000 level back again.
Rightly said. Very good morning to you, Shrishti. If we look at markets, yes, we did actually continue the record run. We opened above that 20,000 mark. But from there on, markets are only turned pretty much choppy. Remember, we are seeing a lot of profit booking take place in a lot of those PSU counters, especially from the railway, defense, and also the shipbuilding tech. All of them actually are losing steam in today's trading session. Also, take a look at the sugar companies. They are also losing steam. Sharper cuts you're seeing actually in the broader markets. Let's not forget that one has been hitting record high day after day, and today definitely the breather is coming sharply in the broader market, and be it the mid cap index or the small cap index, both of them are actually off over 2% from the day's highest point. You have Nifty also that has actually given up some of those gains, but you're bound to see some sort of a pause or a breather take place given the fact that the markets have actually seen such a sharp run of late. Take a look at what Reliance Industries is doing in today's trading session, because that one was seeing subdued movement in today's trading session, almost a percent downtick coming in for Reliance Industries as we speak. Let's take a look at L&T. That one has hit a fresh record high level above the 3,000 rupees per share mark. Top gainer on the Nifty is what L&T is at this point in time. Grasim DVs are the other set of gainers, and on the losing end is other Adani Enterprises, BPCL, as well as Adani Ports among the top sectoral among the top Nifty losers, and the advanced decline ratio is very much tilted in the favor of declines as we speak right now. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time, Shrishti. Pretty much choppy actually.
Well, yes, and the kind of a broader market support is not coming in for today, Cheryl, is something that we are watching out for, and we have been cautioning our investors throughout that some of these pockets, like railway, defense, how these have moved and how the valuation stacking up right now. So 20,000 mark on the index, definitely yes, but the broader markets today is definitely not supportive, because look at the counters on NSE. There are 286 stocks only that are seen to be gaining, despite the fact that 1,888 counters are in the red. But with this, viewers, let's also go across and listen in to the market experts. We spoke with Sunil Singhania of Abacus Asset Managers. We also had Vijay Kedia, and on to the technical, we were being joined by Gautam Shah. So let's listen in from all three of them. What's their take on the markets?
So I think it is a time to be optimistic, but at the same time, you have to be extremely cautious, because you don't want a scenario where in a vibrant market you end up getting into stocks where you don't see their prices again for the next 3-4 years, and the market keeps on doing well but the portfolio suffers. So I think one has to be definitely optimistic, because there is still a lot of room ahead for the economy in the markets, but extremely cautious of not getting sucked into this FOMO kind of a situation. And we are also looking at a scenario where 16-18% growth in profit for the next 2 years looks possible. And if you look at that, I think you're looking at EPS somewhere just over 1,100 as far as Nifty is concerned. And that makes the markets even at 20,000 somewhere in the 18p odd levels as far as Nifty is concerned on an FY25 basis.
ये तो karma hai दोस्तों, it will keep on going. You remember, maybe I don't have the exact data, but maybe 20 years or 25 years back, where Sensex was at 20,000 something, maybe 20 years back now. Now Nifty is there. So obviously, we can say that Nifty is catching up with Sensex. I think all the good news are priced in the market. Okay, it is like mice and cats. Sometimes mice is ahead, sometimes cat is ahead. So it keeps on happening in the, sometimes we are chasing the economy, sometimes economy is chasing stock market or the prices. So I think all the good news, all the good news are there in the market. People know what is going to happen. Now it's not a secret. Okay, maybe 2 years back, maybe 90% people were skeptical. We don't know what is going to happen to the world market, how America is going to deal with the recession, and all those things were there. Now I think cards are open. Now everybody is on the same boat, and that is the cause of worry in shorter term, I would say. So I think all the good news are there in price. That does not mean that market is going to fall today or tomorrow. This may continue for 1 month or maybe for 2 months, but of course it is not going to last forever.
The party could take a bit of a pause. I think that's par for the course. We've run really hard on the mid cap, small cap side. I mean, I made this point that the chart of the mid cap and small cap looks like what really happens in mock trading and not in live action. And it's been that flawless, higher high every single day for the last 20, 30 sessions. And I haven't seen something like this in a long, long time. But clearly, round numbers bring euphoria. I think you saw that in the month of July when we got close to 20,000 and got into a correction. Now we are back at 20,000. We've tested it. We've surpassed it. And there is once again euphoria, which has made a comeback. So I think what I feel is that the mid caps and small caps could take a bit of a breather. And you're seeing that on the screen today with the downtake. And this could continue for some more time because there is clearly room for some downside. But I think the focus is really going to move to the large caps from here. So the large caps can make up for the underperformance of the last couple of months is what the view is for the next few weeks. And we do see the Nifty gradually moving towards a level of 20,400. I know it's not big in percentage terms, but unfortunately, I don't have large targets to work with because I do believe that the Nifty is going to be in that band of 19,500 to 20,400. And in this period, just stay in specific themes, sugar, textile, IT, pharma, metals, banks. I think these are the themes where I would like to commit into.
All right, so that's the view coming in from the big market voices that we had on the show. And also you can catch these voices on the social media platform or throughout the course of the day. We will be playing a snippet of those exclusive conversations. But given the fact that we've seen a sharp rally coming in the broader markets, no doubt the Nifty has hit the coveted 20,000 mark, 10% uptick. This year alone is what Nifty has logged in, but the real party has been seen in the broader markets, which are trading higher, more than 30% YTD. But is this rally justified? Let's ask our colleague Soumeet Sarkar, who's joining us in the studios. And Soumeet, yes, I know you will not give your view on the broader markets and what exactly is happening in the broader markets, but yes, a parabolic rally is what we've seen. There is a lot of exuberance that we're seeing in the broader markets. What are brokerages saying? Is it time to be cautious?
Well, firstly, it's not 30%. From March lows, if you see, small cap index has actually run up 49% from March lows till now. But this is before today's fall. So what brokerages are saying on this, the rally that we have seen in the broader markets. Now, Kotak has actually removed all its recommendation from mid-cap space. It is saying that it is seeing limited point in trying to find fundamental reasons behind the rally that we have seen in the mid cap and small cap, and they're saying that there are actually no positive fundamental reason that they can find out in most of the stocks. In fact, for many of them, they are seeing that conditions have actually worsened, so they are still unable to find out why there has been this rally in the mid cap and the small cap space. And lastly, they're also saying that they cannot find out too many stocks beyond the BFSI space. And do remember that Nifty Bank Index is only one index that has not gained as much as the Nifty, that is the Indian benchmark, Nifty 50 and Nifty mid cap and small cap. And hence they are finding some opportunities in the BFSI space, but not beyond that BFSI sector. However, Elara Securities on the other hand says that there could be some more to this rally that we have seen in the mid cap and small cap, and the main reason behind this is the fact that the rally that we are seeing from March till now is actually followed up by a huge, in fact 4 years of underperformance of the mid cap and small cap. So this rally might look a bit more, but then after 4 years of underperformance, if you see, the rally is actually not too stretched according to Elara Securities, and they believe that there could be more another 10% to the mid cap rally, another 20% to the small cap rally. And they're also saying that the flows to the small cap and the mid cap fund would continue even going forward. HSBC also has a similar kind of view when compared to Elara. They are also saying that the mid cap rally is a clear symptom of a bull market, and they are still in the midway of this cycle of this rally that we are seeing when it comes to the mid cap and small cap. They are saying that the mid cap valuation premium is at 34%, while the peak of this valuation should be at around 40% as per HSBC, and they are saying that the broader market bullish phase can still last going forward. So divided views coming in here. Kotak is bearish in fact on post this rally, while Elara and HSBC continue to be bullish when it comes to the broader market.
Okay, thank you so much, Soumeet, for highlighting what brokerages are believing right now. But since the March lows, definitely we have seen that outperformance in the broader market space. But in the last couple of weeks, we have seen those large caps participating as well. So would you like to highlight some of the counters that still have some leg rooms in terms of the return potential and any of the stocks that even brokerages are highlighting?
So we culled out this data from Bloomberg, given the fact that markets were at an all-time high. So it was interesting to see if there is some leg room still left in some of the stocks going forward. So we are looking at companies where the analyst recommendations are at least 10, which means that at least 10 analysts or brokerages are tracking those companies. And then we have seen we are looking at those companies that could give a return of more than 20% in the next 12 months. So we have got around 11 stocks that could give more than 20% return in the next 12 months, and 7 out of these 11 are banks. And the reason behind this could be the limited impact of incremental cash reserve ratio, given the fact that Kotak Mahindra Bank and HDFC Bank have given only single-digit return from March lows till now. Credit cycle continues to remain strong, while the asset quality also continues to remain benign for this for the banking sector. Moving on from the banking sector, UPL is one stock that is expected to give a return of close to 25% over the next 12 months, and this could be on the back of possible recovery that analysts are expecting from the third quarter. And there are also visible signs of recovery when it comes to pricing, and the inventory situation also for UPL has been on a reducing trend in the industry. So these are the positive signs when it comes to UPL. For Greenply Industries, the fall in stock was mainly because of the military coup that we had seen in Gabon, because the company has deployed nearly 20% of its capital in that region. But despite this, brokerages believe that this could be a transitionary thing, and recent meeting with the Investec analyst also suggests that the company has maintained their guidance. Hence, the bullish stance continues on Greenply. When it comes to GSPL, it is because of transmission volume recovery and high gas demand in the country. And when it comes to BPCL, it is the cheap valuation. Analysts believe that the impact on marketing margin could be transitionary, and stable refining and volume trends when it comes to BPCL, and hence analysts continue to remain bullish as well as on BPCL also.
All right, thank you so much for that, Soumeet, for outlining all the stocks that could likely have some more steam left, given the fact the markets have scaled to new highs. We've seen a lot of these broader markets counters also see a sharpish rally. But what's the outlook? We've seen a lot of these broader markets counters also see a sharpish rally. But what's the outlook ahead? And let's ask that to our experts. Today we have Kunal Bothra, who's joining us on the show, along with Mr. A.K Prabhakar. Very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Mr. Prabhakar. Thank you so much for joining us on ET now. And Kunal, very interesting, right? We've been waiting for that 20,000. The 20,000 is hit. We've conquered that historic feat when it comes to Nifty. Broader markets, what a rally. And today they're taking a breather, likely so, given the fact that they've seen a sharp rally. But, Kunal, Soumeet just now outlined a very interesting data on the fact that which are these large cap or some of the noted stocks that could likely see further upside of approximately 20%. Have you come across any of these counters on the charts? Also, where do you see the markets are headed from here on? What sort of technical levels are you watching out for resistance and support when it comes to Nifty Bank?
Very good morning, Cheryl. A lot of points to discuss, but I'll keep it restricted towards 3 important criteria. One, whether the markets or whether the index is overbought or whether there is an exuberance in the index. I don't believe so. I believe that we've just gone through a breakout of a strong psychological mark. So it's bound to be that the market gets into a bit of an aberration before it steadies the ship and then moves into a very gradual manner on the upside. So I'm extremely bullish on the index. I would believe that such kind of volatility should be taken as an advantage for a trader to buy. Whether there is exuberance in sectors, I don't believe that there is exuberance in all of the sectors. Yes, there are a few pockets where the sectors have gone to a bit of a frothy uptrend. So you might see some bit of correction time-wise, price-wise happening into there. Coming to the large cap points which you've mentioned, I strongly believe that there are a slew of large cap names which are looking very attractive from current levels. I think the likes of HDFC Bank, specifically at current levels, ICICI Bank, which is looking phenomenal on the charts at current levels of 975, 980 odd, looks very attractive. Tata Motors is something which looks attractive even from current levels. Maruti is given a recent breakout about the 10,000 odd mark, so that also looks fairly attractive. And from the other names, I think ITC could be one of the stocks which could probably come back towards that 490, 500. So a slew of large cap names which have been underperformers in the previous leg, they could make a strong comeback this time around.
Okay, so the large cap names that are on Kunal's radar, he just highlighted. Thank you so much for that. But Mr. Prabhakar, coming to you, what's your take on the rally that we have witnessed in the broader market space, and also at this point in time, any pocket that still looks interesting to you, and any pocket that you wish to highlight could be frothy at this point in time, and any recommendations as well?
No, Nifty, crossing 20,000. About 23 months back, we were 18,600. So if you take, 23 months, even 10% rally is not there in Nifty, and I will, whatever data which I track, it says, just 10 stock has 75% weightage in Nifty. So now we are talking about only 10 stock which is made, this 20,000 possible, not overall market. Private banks have not participated. FMCG has not participated. Chemicals or pharma has not participated. Life insurance has not participated. So it is very limited to PSU defense stock, PSU railway stock, anything related to defense and railways have done the magic. That is the euphoria which has been going on. So now investors should focus on value wealth creation rather than getting euphoric at this point of time. Maybe there are stocks which are highly overvalued. You need to avoid that. But there are stocks which are still attractive at current point of time. In PSU pack, if you want, Ircon is there, NMDC is there, GAIL is there, NTPC is there. Even in defense, BEL is still looking attractive. In private segment, I think a lot of stocks are still very attractive. Bharat Forge, Rolex Ring, UTI AMC, HDFC AMC, Tata Power, Clean Science, SRF. Now, in hospitals, you have Narayana Hrudalaya, KIMS, SBI Cards. There are few private life insurance, which are private life insurance, which are still attractive. So, they are attractive for 3 to 5 years. Then we need to look at those sectors. I think pharma and specialty chemical, they offer a lot of comfort, mainly in specialty chemical. I think China plus one will slowly play out. So if you are looking at 3 to 5 years, nothing to worry. But yes, the euphoria in few mid caps and small cap, it is mind boggling. So I think today the declines are more than the advance. If it continues for 4-5 days, then I think the correction would set in. But that is okay. But for a long-term investor, I think this is the best opportunity to get in.
So basically, Kunal and Mr. Prabhakar, both of you all concur with the fact that abhi to party just shuru hui hai when it comes to the market rally?
Well, yes, very much.
Mr. Prabhakar is giving... Yes, Mr. Prabhakar.
No, I think, we are just starting. I don't think we are at the end game. We have just started. I think long way to go for a big bull market.
Right, consensus view coming from both of our experts. The party has just begun when it comes to the market rally. A lot of headroom still left. But yes, we may see these bouts of sort of a correction creep in, but nothing to be perturbed about. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll start taking your query, viewers, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now show, where we get you answers for all of our stock-related queries, all of your stock-related queries, viewers. You can connect to us on the WhatsApp number that is flashing on your screen. Along with that, you can also make sure that you mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in. If you're already invested in the stock, mention the buy price, the quantity, as well as the time horizon that you're looking to invest in a particular account. With that, our experts will be able to help you better. And talking about our experts, we have Kunal Bothra as well as Mr. A.K Prabhakar. And remember, viewers, in the first leg of the show, you had Kunal as well as Mr. Prabhakar give out their top picks that you can bet on in this market. So during the course of the queries, we will avoid taking those queries that are asking us for top picks from Kunal and Mr. Prabhakar. You can definitely catch their views on our social media platform shortly after the show is done. But with that, let me kickstart with the queries. And the first one is coming from Shankar. He's writing to us from Trinunalaveli. I'm very sorry if I've pronounced it wrong. But Kunal, this one is for you. 100 shares of Sun TV at an average price of 431 rupees per share. Will it be the right time to average this and hold it for the longer term?
Well, it would be a good time to start averaging the stock. I would not say a perfect time to average, but the stock somehow has gotten into a pause. or a time-wise correction. Now, whether it results into a further correction, maybe over the next couple of days we'll come to know, and depends on the overall texture of the markets. If the indices also go into maybe a couple of days of more profit booking, then we can probably expect Sun TV to come back to say 580, 585 mark. That could be a better zone to start buying. But the point is, in case if that doesn't happen, then you may miss out on averaging the stock. So you've already bought at lower levels. I would suggest that you can start averaging maybe part at current levels and then hold on to the other part if you're looking to average close to 585.
Okay, moving on, and Mr. Prabhakar, the next query is from Jay Krishnan from Kerala, and he wants your take on CDSL as well as Praj Industries. He's looking to invest in both of these counters for a medium-term outlook, and both of these counters are drifting lower today. So, is this a good opportunity to enter, or maybe he can wait for some more correction?
CDSL at current valuation looks very expensive. There is only one line of business, and it is an annuity business. So I don't see a major growth going forward. So I think BSE would be a preferred pick because they hold some stake in CDSL. But I think exchanges are far better than CDSL. When it comes to Praj, they are diversifying. I think Praj is a good company. You can hold on to it.
All right, that's the view coming in on Praj. The next query that I have is coming in from Yuvraj, writing to us from Chennai, Kunal. And is it the right time to enter Zen Technologies and Syrma SGS? These counters also have seen good rally based on news flows. Do you think that now is the right time to go ahead and enter them?
I would suggest to wait out for some more time. I think because Syrma SGS and many other names have rallied up significantly high. I think the profit booking into these stocks could also be a bit more steep. So we've seen the stocks falling by 7 to 8%, I think 6-7% on an intraday basis so far, and they've recovered. But I believe that a retest of the previous lows could happen eventually over the next couple of days. So I think you should wait out for some more time before you can look to buy.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, what's your take on BPCL as well as IOC? Sushil Kumar from Trichy has bought BPCL 1.5 years back at a price of 470 rupees, and with the fall today, he is at a loss. So what's your outlook on this one? Any hopes on recovery given the fact that the crude oil prices are on the rise? And IOC, he bought a year ago at a price of 81.5 rupees. Mild profits in this one. So what to do? Hold on both of these counters or make an exit?
No, I'm not positive on oil marketing companies, and with state election and general election on the way, I think government might keep it very tight. So I think it is better to exit and enter stocks where government intervention will not be there. We need to stay away from government regulated business. So I think BPCL and IOC is an exit from my view.
All right, moving on. The next one is coming from Shashikant. He's writing to us from Kerala, and he had applied. First of all, he's asking query on an SME IPO, and I'm guessing both of you all don't cover the SME arena that closely, right? Mr. Prabhakar?
No.
All right, then I will skip this query. I will go to the next one. This one is coming from Karan. He's writing to us from Delhi. He wants to understand, Kunal, your view on TV18 broadcast, 2,000 shares at a price of around 49 rupees per share.
Well, again, I think I would refrain to buy the stock at current levels because of the way the stock has already run up in the last 3-6 months from 28-29 rupees. The stock had jumped up to 51. It's now seeing the first round of correction, which I believe could probably intensify for a shorter term duration. So I think maybe if it comes closer to 40-41, that could be a good support point where you may look to buy.
Okay, Kunal, the next query is on Adani Power. Arjun has 100 shares at a price of 196 rupees. He wants to keep this for a medium term. So what's the outlook? Should he continue to hold on this particular target? I beg your pardon. He wants to know what is the short-term target for Adani Power going ahead.
So, so far the stock is looking attractive, but I would suggest that you can keep a trailing stop loss over here. Now, in the last maybe 1 to 2 months of this price rally for Adani Power, the stock has been unable to break significantly below its 3-day swing low. So I think if you can keep maybe a 3-day swing low, which is 360 as of now as a stop loss, that could be a better strategy. So you can continue to ride the trend on the upside, but in case if 360 is broken and the stock closes below those levels, it could be a very good time where we may look to consider booking out profits from Adani Power.
All right, let me take the next query. This one is coming in from Padma Sivarao from Bangalore on Balmolori, 105 shares at a price of 129 rupees per share. He wants to know what's the near-term target for this one, Kunal?
So from a short-term basis, I think 174.75 was the previous high for the stock. But I think now if the stock dips back towards 152 mark, that could be a zone where you may look to buy 150 to 155. That's a zone where you may look to rebuy. And on the upside, 175 is something which I would keep an eye on as a target for Balmolori.
Okay, Kunal, a quick one. This one is from one of your fans named Archana, and she has bought 200 shares of HDFC Bank at a price of 1630 rupees. Since you highlighted HDFC in one of your top recommendations, any target for the next 6 to 9 months?
So it looks very attractive. In fact, that's the point which I was highlighting at the start of the show as well. That many of these large cap names which have been underperformers, they could now pick up pace. Now, it depends on how far can this rally sustain for the index and how gradual or quick it could be. If it's a gradual rally, then possibly in the next 1 or 2 months, I would expect HDFC Bank to come back to at least 1700, 1720 mark. But the rally intensifies in between, then you can probably expect HDFC Bank to come back towards new highs or break past about those levels pretty quickly. So bullish is the stance which I would maintain on HDFC Bank.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your query. Viewers, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, a show where we get you answers for all your stock related queries. You can connect with us live on the WhatsApp number that is flashing on the top of your screen. And the next query is coming from Vincent and Mr. Prabhakar. He says that he's holding 200 shares of Bajaj Consumers at a price of 165 rupees at a profit in this particular counter, but wants to know, can he add more for a 3-year investment horizon?
Bajaj Consumer is a good stock, but they are into a hair oil market. It is a very niche market, and it is a very small market. So I would have a better portfolio if I'm looking at FMC. So I think Hindustan Unilever or Marico or Dabur will be better place. But anyway, you are having profit there, so you can shift to any of the 3 stocks.
All right, this next one that I have is coming in from Padma, who's a senior citizen, and Padma has GMDC, Kunal, at a price of around, not mention the price, but 25% profit. Vodafone, 10% profit. Should she hold or look to shift to a large cap IT or a banking name?
Shift to a large cap name makes a lot of sense to start booking out profits into these stocks and churn into a few of the large cap stocks which you just discussed, like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, etc.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, the next query is on Apex Frozen. Viewer named Shankar has bought 100 shares at a price of 221 rupees, near to the current market price, but should he continue to hold on or make an exit in this one?
I don't track Apex Food, so I won't be.
Okay. Anything on the charts, Kunal?
Well, I would suggest to exit the stock. If you're looking to buy, then I think you should avoid it. My sense is that the stock has been an underperformer. Very recently, it started to pick up pace, but again, it's been unable to hold about that 240 level. So currently also, even though the stock is on the verge of a golden crossover, but looking at the way the setup is and the failure ratio of the stock in terms of trends, I think it makes sense to not look at this kind of a trade.
All right, the next query that I have is coming in from Deepak Pai, who's writing to us from Udupi. He's writing to us from Karnataka. He has Kotak Mahindra Bank at a price of around 1,763 rupees per share. Kunal, short-term target.
So Kotak Bank looks attractive at current low levels of 1800 approximately. I would probably keep a modest target over here because of the way the stock has been an underperformer, unless there is data which suggests that there could be a round of short covering or a major short covering on the stock price. So till the time that doesn't happen, I would probably keep the targets a bit more conservative. But I think from a conservative play, 1860, 1855 could be a target which you can keep an eye on.
Okay, Kunal, the next query is also for you. This one is from Harvinder Arora. He has bought 65 shares of Moltech Packaging at a price of 969 rupees, exactly at the current market price. Should he continue to hold on? He bought this for the short-term period. So any hopes that he can make decent gains in this one?
See, I think as of now you can hold on, but it's not an encouraging chart because in the last 3 months from July start somewhere, The stock had just corrected one way from 1100 to 969, 970 where it's trading right now. The other concern is that the stock is hovering at the 200 DMA for the last 1 month, which means that this 970 mark plus or minus 15-20 rupees odd is the range for Moltech packaging. Now, what I would probably suggest is keep a trailing stop loss, and I think the stop loss for this trade you can keep maybe closer to 930 on closing basis. So, in case if the stock closes below that 930 mark, it could give a signal of a breakdown and a confirmation that this downtrend is continuing for the stock price. So, keep that as a stop loss and you can continue to hold on.
Alright, the next query that I have is coming in from Rishi, writing to us from Bahrain on Apollo Tyres. 100 shares at a price of 401 rupees per share. Good time to average with this particular counter, given the fact that she's looking to average also, which means that she wants to hold this for a longer period of time. What's your take on this, Mr. Prabhakar?
I'm positive on Apollo Tyres, and they have a very good business in Europe. And with Russia out of the market in Europe, I think Apollo Tyres will benefit out of it.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, what's your take on BHEL? Vinod from Trichy has bought 1,000 shares at a lower price point at 115. And given the profit booking that we are seeing in BHEL, do you suggest to continue to hold on? He wants to know, can he continue to hold on, accumulate more at this level, or maybe go ahead and book out profits?
I would suggest to hold on. We need to understand it is a turnaround stock. For a very long time, they didn't have an order. Now the order book is also very good and they have turned to profit. Previously, it was a loss-making company. So I think things are likely to get better from here. But you need to have at least 2-3 years time frame. Otherwise, this stock might not work out.
Alright, this one is coming in from a big fan of yours, Kunal, and the fan has not mentioned his name, but he wants to know whether he can enter NIT as well as SBI Life.
NIT Limited, that
yes.
is, right? Well, not at current levels of 116. Now, because the stock has run up exceedingly high in the last couple of days, I believe that you could probably be getting into a round of moderation for NIT Limited, I think at 116 odd mark, even though the stock has confirmed a breakout. So I would suggest that wait out for maybe the gap to be filled. 100 mark, 105 could be a zone where should be you can consider the first tranche of buying for NIT Limited. SBI Life, on the other hand, and I sense that the viewer is looking at this from a more medium-term time frame. You can consider buying the stock. It's confirmed a breakout on the weekly charts. Also crossed above some critical moving averages on the weekly basis above that 70 mark. So that's a stock which you can consider buying at current levels. But for NIT Limited, I think you should wait out for a significant cool off or a dip before you can look to buy.
Okay, moving on, and Mr. Prabhakar, the next query is coming from Jacina from Mangalore, and she wants to know, is this a good time to buy RVNL? All these railway and defense counters are drifting today, so good entry time for RVNL. And she also wants an advice on FACT. She bought the shares at a price of 460 rupees. So good time to go ahead and book profits or continue to hold on?
I think fact you have to book profit because the stock has run too much. Now, but RVNL, if it corrects another 10 to 12%, it is a good entry point. Ircon is already attractive. I think RVNL 10-12% correction, you can again re-enter in that.
Alright, on that note, we'll actually slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, some more queries left to go, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, show where we get you answers for all your stock related queries. And continuing with the same, the next query, Mr. Prabhakar, is coming from Subramaniam, and he is holding Sharda Cropchem and sitting at a loss of around 16%. So should he continue to hold on this particular name or exit at this point in time?
Chemical has been in a bad time in the last 2-3 years, and Sharda Cropchem, their exposure towards Europe is very high. It will take some time, but for a long-term investor, it should not be a worry. Now, hold on to Sharda Cropchem.
All right, moving on. The next query is coming in from Pratiksha, writing to us from Oman. Kunal, Balrampur Chini as well as EID Parry. Actually, I take this to you, Mr. Prabhakar. Out of Balrampur Chini and EID Parry, which one is a better stock to buy for the long term, as well as makes sense to buy Hindustan Copper right now for the long term?
I think both are good companies, well-managed company, Balrampur Chini and EID Parry. valuation wise, AD Parry is slightly cheaper, but hold few chemicals also. But if you want a pure ethanol and sugar play, Balrampur Chini is far better. So the other stock I slipped out of my mind.
It was Balrampur Chini, ID Parry and Hindustan Copper.
Hindustan Copper is bit expensive. In a correction, you can buy Hindustan Copper.
Okay, so let's move on. And 63rd CM annual convention is going on, where Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari is speaking. So let's go across and listen into him.
आने वाली है और मैं उनको रिक्वेस्ट करने वाला हूँ कि आने वाले समय में डीजल से जो भी इंजन चलाते हैं उसके ऊपर एडिशनल 10% GST लगाओ, ताकि जल्दी इसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होगा, नहीं तो लोग जल्दी सुनने के मूड में नहीं है। तो मुझे मेरी बात को और मेरी समझ को आप बदल सकते हैं। तो जल्दी इसमें आपका डाइवर्सिफिकेशन हो, ये मेरा आपसे नम्रतापूर्वक अनुरोध है। नहीं तो हम लोग रोड अच्छे बना रहे हैं, रोड बनाने के कारण ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री की ग्रोथ हो रही है। ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री की ग्रोथ हो रही है तो ऑटोमोबाइल कंपोनेंट वाले बहुत खुश हैं। पांचों उंगली घी में है। हम लोग ग्रीन हाईवे बना रहे हैं और लगातार ऑटोमोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग 10 के बजाय 15%, 18% बढ़ रहा है और फॉसिल फ्यूल का इंपोर्ट भी बढ़ रहा है और ऐसे ही बढ़ता रहेगा। तो आप तो खुश होंगे ही, पर पोल्यूशन से हिंदुस्तान की जनता बहुत दुखी होगी और इसलिए जल्दी डीजल पेट्रोल को छोड़कर नए मार्ग पर पोल्यूशन मुक्ति की तरफ आप सहयोग करिए, ये मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है। नहीं तो जनरेटर सेट से लेकर डीजल कंजम्पशन करने वाली हर इंजन पर 10% ये पोल्यूशन टैक्स एडिशनल GST बढ़ाने के बारे में जरूर मैं फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर को इस बात के लिए अनुरोध करूंगा। तो मुझे लगता है कि आप ये अनुरोध करने का समय मेरे ऊपर नहीं लाएंगे। कोई भी बात जो होती है आउट ऑफ बॉक्स होती है, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कन्विंस द पीपल, इट टेक्स लॉन्ग टाइम टू कन्विंस द पीपल। और इसलिए आज मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दिस इज द अप्रोप्रिएट टाइम। और ये कोई कठिन बात नहीं, कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है। दिस इज ऑलरेडी एवरीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड, द टेक्नोलॉजी इज अवेलेबल। और इसलिए मैं आप सब लोगों को अनुरोध करूंगा कि डीजल पेट्रोल से जल्दी मुक्ति देने के लिए आप सुमोटो इनिशिएटिव लेकर आप हमें सहयोग करिए, ये भी नम्रतापूर्वक अनुरोध आप सबसे करना चाहता हूं। हमारे देश में 35 करोड़ रजिस्टर्ड व्हीकल है ऑन रोड और ग्रोथ रेट है 10%। इंडस्ट्री 12.5 लाख करोड़ की हुई है और ये खुशी की बात है कि 4 लाख करोड़ का हमारा एक्सपोर्ट है और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग GDP 40% है। ओवरऑल GDP कंट्रीब्यूशन 6.5% है।
So we're listening to Road Transport Minister at CM convention. That's the annual meeting wherein he was talking about that how Indian automobile industry is growing, but there is a need to control the pollution, and that's why the greener energies and the technology needs an advancement. We'll get you more highlights from the same all throughout the day. We are being joined by the top managements of the automobile industry. But with this, viewers, let's once again bounce back to taking all your stock related queries onto the Buy Now Sell Now show. And the next query that I have is coming on Swan Energy. Mr. Prabhakar, Ravi Chandran from UAE has purchased 50 shares of Swan Energy. I'm not sure whether you tracked this one or not, but his buy price is 249 rupees. He's saying that can he hold this counter for a target price of 350 rupees?
No, I don't track the stock, so I won't be able to comment.
Okay, Kunal, anything on the charts?
I think I would suggest to exit the stock or look to book profits over here, because the stock is now getting into a confirmation of a downtrend, and assumingly the downtrend sustains for another couple of weeks, then I would probably sense the stock to come back towards its 200 DMA, which is at 245 odd levels for 255 odd levels for the stock.
Alright, I'll just request my producer Abhishek just to show the line graph of M&M to just see what that particular counter is doing in trade at this point in time, given the fact that the commentary coming in from the Road and Transport Minister doesn't bode well for the particular counter, given the fact that the Road Minister said they're planning to actually go ahead and make a proposal for additional 10% GST on diesel engine vehicles to Finance Minister this evening. He's also mentioned the fact that he will be meeting the Finance Minister this evening and would put forth this particular proposal, which will not bode well for M&M. The additional GST, he's saying, will be in form of the pollution tax. So yes, watch out for M&M on this particular development. As you can see, the stock has definitely taken a nosedive at this point in time, actually drifting lower. 1.5% downtick coming in on M&M on back of that commentary coming in from Road and Transport Minister, given the fact that they plan to actually make a proposal for additional 10% GST on diesel engine vehicles, which will be in form of pollution tax. In this particular proposal, they intend to make to the Finance Minister this evening itself. So watch out for that particular counter. Let's move on then, and let me take the next query that we have. This one is coming in from Gauri Gupta on Bajaj Finance. She has Bajaj Finance at the price of 7,200 rupees per share, Kunal, and she's been holding on to this particular counter for the last 10 months. Wants to know what should she do with this one? Exit?
See, if you're a long-term investor, then I think you should not be worried about the longer-term charts and prospects for Bajaj Finance. The stock is going through a time-wise correction over the last 2 years. 2021 high for the stock and the 22 low for the stock price indicates that this is a time-wise correction, which may continue for another few quarters at least for the stock price. So I don't expect any major fireworks on Bajaj Finance, but again, as I said, if you're a long-term investor, then you should hold on.
Okay, moving on, and with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query that I have, Mr. Prabhakar, is on Muthoot Cap. The viewer didn't mention his name. He's holding 1,000 shares for the past 3 years. What's your take on Muthoot Capital?
Muthoot Finance is something we track. Muthoot Capital we have not tracked.
Okay, Kunal, this one's from Kamal. He's writing to us from Delhi. 2,000 shares of CESC at an average price of 90.4 rupees per share. Wants your advice for the next 1 year?
You can continue to hold on.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, any take on NBCC? Latish has bought the shares at a price of 44 rupees. He's a long-term investor.
You can hold on to it.
Okay, RK wants to know, Mr. Prabhakar, out of the fertilizer counter, there's FACT or GNFC. Which one is a better one to invest in for the longer term fundamentally?
I think GNFC is a better spot.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, what's your take on L&T? Richie has bought the shares at a price of 2,200. Is this a good time to book profits and enter at lower levels? Then what will be your advice?
I don't know about the trading part, but it is a good stock, and the kind of order they got from GCC country, I think one should hold on to it.
Okay, this one is coming from Akhil. He's writing to us from Delhi, and I beg your pardon, Mr. Prabhakar, he wants to know, can he look to buy Jio right now for the longer term, or are you envisaging some more selling pressure coming on this counter?
I would avoid Jio Finance at this point of time.
Okay, moving on to the next query then. The next query, okay, the viewer also didn't mention his name. So the next query is on West Coast Paper. Yuvraj Kunal wants to know, can he enter West Coast Paper at this point in time?
I'll suggest to wait out, let this phase of correction settle up. I think the stock should correct sub 650 mark. That could be a point where we need to buy.
Kunal, Hema from Karnataka wants to know whether she can buy Patel Engineering at current levels.
Wait out for further correction. I think the stock has come back into the circuit mode, so I think it's best to try and wait out till this circuit filter sets away from the stock.
Okay, but with this we are completely out of time in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Thank you so much, Kunal and Mr. Prabhakar, for joining us today and helping all our viewers resolve their stock-related queries. But with this, viewers, it's time to wrap this edition as well. It's a goodbye from me and Cheryl and the entire team who put the show together. Thank you so much for watching.